And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different. Welcome to the qualifiers, the Korean Open Qualifier number 1 of the Star Wars 11 Premier Tournament that is right around the corner. I'm, of course, your host, Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by all the lovely people in the chat, by my plushies and these amazing players. !B in the chat. If you want to link to the bracket yourselves, bracket did go live a couple of minutes ago, and the bracket is stacked full of the best of the best. Again, this is the Korean qualifier, and there was only one invite to the main event. Only one invite for the tournament. That was the reigning world champion, Oliveira. Oliveira is invited. Everyone else has to qualify. So we have players like Maru, we have Hero, we have Beyond, we have Nightmare, we have Classic, DRG Creator, and many more, all in this bracket, all in this qualifier. I wish them all the best of luck, because this is not going to be easy, let me tell you. Let me tell you now, as a reminder, top 4 qualify. Top 4 will qualify for the closed qualifier, not for the main event. This is a qualifier for a qualifier. So again, only the best of the best can make it through. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing himself, currently teamless. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Zerg player representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. Let's go. And again, Bunny has been looking on fire recently as of late in the TvZ matchup. So even though Solar is our reigning GSL champion, he was the GSL champion of November of last year, November/December, end of 2023 is what I should say. So Solar is our reigning GSL world GSL champion, but Bunny as of late has been popping off. He took down Shin. He was the only player to bring down Shin at TvZ in the Terran group, I should emphasize. Likewise, Bunny also took down Dark in the most recent GSL qualifiers, which were a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago were the GSL qualifiers, and Bunny did bring Dark down in a best of 3. So Bunny has been looking damn strong in this matchup specifically. So honestly, we can see a bit of an upset here. This is single elimination, by the way. It is a single elim bracket, and it's brutal. It's brutal as a result. Thankfully, there are 2 qualifiers. Thankfully, there are 2 open qualifiers, so players that don't make it through today will have another chance in a couple of days. They'll have another chance in the near future in qualifier number 2. Just quickly double checking here. Qualifier number 2 is in 2 days. So today is qualifier number 1, then we have a 2-day break, a 2-day reprieve, and then bam, we get into the second qualifier. So we'll see where this all leads us. For the time being, Hatchgaspool, standard opener out of Solar, going for his 3rd base. So everything's looking as it should from the side of Solar. Meanwhile, across the map, Bunny going for a Rax expand into the factory. So standard openers all around. No cheese, no proxy. Something that I should emphasize is that when Bunny took down both Shin and Dark, it wasn't through cheese or proxy early on. He was hyper aggressive. We did see some 3-base all-ins, I will say that. But Bunny, yeah, he didn't like trip them up early on, I should emphasize. It was a more mid-game oriented play. That's what we should be seeing here from Bunny as well. For the time being, he's going to be chilling here back at home. He has no SCV Scout, by the way. No SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout. The Reaper stays at home. Interesting maneuvering here by Bunny, as he's going for a 3rd CC before Starport, so economic opener here overall by Bunny, especially considering that he skipped the SCV Scout. I said this before, I'll say it again, I do think this is okay to do against Solar, not against players like Shin or Dark, more aggressive Zerg players, but Solar doesn't usually cheese, doesn't usually go gas first or pool first. He is more of again, a standard player, so skipping your scout early on, I think, is viable against Solar, specifically. Meanwhile, Reaper is going to be poking out. Again, just dipping around, trying to find an active tumor if at all possible. Behind this, it is going to be a Viking follow-up. Interesting, so 3rd TC into Starport, into a Viking first. This could be for something quite different here. Basically, we're going to be delaying the Tech Lab and delaying any kind of Banshee production. Could lead into, I imagine, Liberators. it's usually Viking into Lib, if not Viking into BC, but BC's are very out of fashion. Reaper does dip in, does threaten the mineral line, doesn't quite kill anything, just forces out a gas geyser as we rotate back around. Meanwhile, there is that stim, no add-on top whatsoever. Likewise, no Liberator either, so just a Viking first to shut down these Overlords, and we're going straight into medevac production instead. So, this build from Bunny is very crisp. It's very, very efficient in a way, but the downside here is that he's going to have that much less to harass. So Bunny, he's foregoing harassing with Banshees, harassing with Liberators, being as active with Hellions. As you can see here, Bunny, he's cutting Hellion production at 4. Usually with this kind of opener, you at least make 6 Hellions, sometimes up to 8 Hellions even, from the side of the Terran. So Bunny, he's cutting a lot of corners, essentially. He's cutting a lot of corners when it comes to his Hellions, cutting corners when it comes to his production, or I should say with his harassment options, and just going straight into mass bio, into stim, into medevacs, into upgrades. So it is very efficient, but again, we're cutting a lot of corners, maybe a better way to put it. And there's a bit of a give and take as we do pick off an Overlord. Very nicely done. 2 Overlords go down. We don't quite supply block Solar, but nicely done nonetheless to get the second Overlord, which typically is not gotten. Lings, they threaten a run by, they threaten a bit of harass, but there are Hellions in position, and Bunny will defend. And again, Bunny doesn't really have much for map control. He has 4 Hellions, that's it. So we can maybe pick off a couple of tumors here and there. He will come across at least some of them. We get 1. Yeah, but only 1 tumor. At the same time, third base has been spotted by Solar, so he's aware it's not a 2-base all-in. We are just building up that Marine count, making 4 Marines at a time. 1-1 is going to be the big timing, basically. We're going to be hitting a strong 1-1 timing here from the side of Bunny. And we'll see how hard it does hit. Back at home, Solar is playing a little bit greedy. Solar went for double Eva Chamber first. He went double Eva Chamber, double upgrades into a delayed lair and Bailing Nest. So later Bailing Nest, later Bailing speed, faster upgrades. And traditionally, you would get away with this. Traditionally, a economic opener like the one that Bunny's going for would hit a little bit later, and the upgrade should finish in time. We'll see, as Bunny's actually pushing out right here, right now already. Upgrades are seconds away for Bunny. He does stim on 4. The Queens are going to be forcing away those Hellions at least. But we're going for the base. We're going for the 4th. And we force a cancel. Big pick off there by Bunny. Again, he hit seconds before his upgrades did kick in, but was in time to deny the 4th. And that 4th was about to finish, so a big cancel. From here, we drop into the main. 1-1 is now done for Bunny. Again, there's a small window where he has the upgrade lead. Ooh, but there's a Spore in position, and the medevacs say take too many hits. We have to back off. You have to retreat. Zoning back around, or rotating back around here towards the 4th base. Meanwhile, reinforcements are on the way. One of those medevacs is very low. We have to be very careful with it. Bailing's waddling in. Remember, no Bailing speed. 1-1 just now finishing up here for Solar, just in time for the fight. He has those upgrades. We focus on the tumors. We get on top of the base once again. We're looking for another cancel. And up! That's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. Massive pick off there. Bunny doing quite a lot of damage already with this. And again, I don't think Solo was really expecting this many Marines this early on. A really crisp attack here from Bunny. He does focus on the Queen. At the same time, we do go for a big counterattack. The mine doesn't go off. How? The mine barely does not go off here. Boys are being evacuated as well. Ooh. Mine shots do connect. Main army does fall back. Bunny doesn't lose much. He's going to bleed out a couple of Marines here, but he keeps his SCVs alive. Only losing 2 workers, and he canceled the 4th base once and killed it the 2nd time. Meanwhile, Solar has double expanded. He took his 4th and his 5th at the same time, and now he has a hatchery up and running. But you can see here the disparity in supply. You can see that Bunny, he does have a supply lead here. He does have momentum. Bunny is ahead. He was forced back home for a moment, but now he can focus. Now he can focus on his push, on his assault. And the pressure is on Solar. Pressure is on. Now, Solar, he needs a good fight. Now, thankfully, the creep here towards the south is looking pretty good. He has some pretty good creep spread here, protecting this 4th base. The 5th is more exposed, because this is where the pressure has been all game long so far. So this is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. You can see Solar leaving more Ling Bane here towards the north, less towards the south, and that's exactly where Bunny rocks up. Solar, he's out of position. He's rotating around. Bailings are trickling in. One of them at least. And it looks like, oh! A bit of a late pick up there. A big connection on the Marines. At the same time, we come in from the left-hand side. And once again, Solar is being pulled apart. Once again, out of position. Can we get the base this time? No, we're going for drones. We're going for the workers. 12 workers go down. 12 workers in total. We pick up. We get the hell out of there into the main. At the same time, we push in once again towards south. Big mine shots. They connect with the Lings. Let's drop into the main, getting more damage done, getting some extra value here, but it looks like we will be forced to pick up. Ooh, late pick up at a bunny. Marines are going down. Solar, he cleans up that force towards the north. Meanwhile, this hatchery is going to fall. It's so low, and it does go down. Bunny, again. One, he is pulling Solar apart, but this is all because of the momentum he got earlier, all because of his build, by the way. Like, it was just a really, really fast attack. A lot of Marines early on. He cut a lot of corners, he skipped out on Hellions, skipped out on Banshee, skipped out on the Liberator as well, and he kills another base, killing the 4th and the 5th. Solar getting knocked down to 3 bases. Bunny is in control right now as he's pulling back, and again, the dominoes, they've been falling one after the other for the past couple of minutes. The House of Cards is crumbling, and Solar, he can't stop it. Yeah, it's just too much. That's another kill, by the way. Another, oh no, god! We kill the hatchery one time, or twice now. Force another cancel. That was the 3rd kill in that hatchery, by the way. And again, Bunny just ensuring that Solar cannot expand, cannot keep up, and can never recover. Now, Solar's working towards a hive and towards lurkers, but they're a ways away, and by the time we get there, I'm not sure if it is going to be enough. Now, it is a comeback mechanic here, is to settle into lurkers, to stabilize, to slowly retake a 4th and a 5th. Like, there is a way out. There is a light at the end of the tunnel here for Solar, but it's far. It's far away. It's not the brightest of lights. Oh, as the bases, they keep being denied. Like, Solar, he needs a moment of reprieve. He needs, you know, maybe even a counterattack. He needs something to distract Bunny, to force him to back off. But Bunny, he's taking his own 4th, getting his 5th base as well. He's up 2 bases. He's up 2 bases compared to the Zerg, which is crazy. 5 versus 3. Mine shots. Oh, I'm going to be unburied. Let's go. No friendly fire. Yeah, Ling bait is being cleaned up. GG gets called, and Bunny will take game number 1. GG. And we spoke about Bunny in the beginning of the game. We talked about how Bunny has been looking like a beast in Terran versus Zerg in this matchup. We spoke about how Bunny took down Shin at IEM. He did what Clem couldn't. Like, Bunny, I think, was the only one to actually bring Shin down in that Terran group. Likewise, Bunny took down Dark in the qualifiers of GSL. And now here he is ahead against Solar. And I want to give Bunny the edge in this series. Solar is not a bad player by any means. And I will say that Solar is a stronger, well-rounded player, right? When considering Solar's ZVZ and ZVP, like, Solar's a better player. But Bunny, specifically in this matchup, has been on fire. And, yeah, Solar's in a bit of trouble right now. He's in a bit of trouble. One more loss, and he is out of the qualifier. Remember, single elimination. It is a single elim bracket. One more slip-up, and you are out of the qualifier. Oh boy. Here we go. As we're getting ready for game number 2. Game number 2 going to be on Alcyone. Let's go. Now, I said this before, but I do know a bunch of people are just now tuning in, now that we've kind of gotten the broadcast underway. For players that do not qualify in this qualifier, for players that do get knocked out, they will have a second chance. There is a second qualifier. This is merely Korean Open Qualifier number 1. There's a second Open Qualifier for the Korean region. These are regional qualifiers as well. There's going to be a qualifier for Europe. There's going to be a qualifier for Asia. There's going to be a qualifier for the Americas. So the regions, they are split up with their qualifiers. And that does mean that, you know, the Koreans, they have these one or these couple of chances in these 2 Open Qualifiers. Let's go. We'll see who is the first to be eliminated, or if we can go all the way to the ace match. Personally, I would love... Oh! Paused. I was going to say, personally, I would love to see a game 3, but it looks like there was a little bit of latency going on. It has cleared up. And here... Oh, Here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Alcyone, we have our red Terran player representing himself, but leading the series 1-0. Teamless, but deserving to be on a team. It is Bunny. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent going for a 15-15. The South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. We go. Again, Solo going for a very safe opener. This is a 15 hatchery into another gas trick into a 15 spawning pool into delayed gases. So this is just a way to get a faster hatchery, to get faster spawning pool into faster queen production, into just a safer build. This will keep you safe against something like proxies, against something like early game Rax aggression. As we can see, Bunny's going for a standard opener, Solo just playing this out safely. And it makes sense. I mean, he's on match point, right? He's on match point. One more loss and Solo's out of the tournament, so he's playing it safe. Likewise, we're loading into Alcyone, a very large map, very mid to late game oriented. We could be settling into quite a long one, which I think favors Solar a little bit. We saw how aggressive Bunny was last game, and again, I want to put a little bit more emphasis on his build, right? His build was very unique and very peculiar. I was shocked to see that he went Viking first, straight into Reactor, straight into medevac production. He cut Hellions very early on as well, right back into that tech lab, into Stim, into Marine production as well. It was a very crisp build out of Bunny, and it did catch Solar off guard. So Solar, he's on notice. He's playing very safely here, and I do think the map is going to be working against Bunny a little bit because of how aggressive he was last game. Again, he never really allowed Solar to stand up. He never allowed him to recover. On a larger map like Alcyone, it's going to be difficult to really apply that pressure. There's a ramp leading into the third, a very narrow one as well, so it is a lot more defendable, especially considering you can attack from an angle, kind of naturally, as the map does intend. This fourth base also very awkward to push into as well. Awkward to be aggressive on. There's a reason why, as we shut down the Overlord with the Marines, we supply block Solar. A bit of a brutal supply block this early on. But again, there's a reason why breaking a player on 4 bases is very difficult, and we often see a split map scenario on Alcyone. I'm reading that here. I'm assuming that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Depending on the build, because that is a very aggressive build. Couple of things. Bunny, once again, no SCB Scout. No SCB Scout, and he skipped his Reaper, who went Marine first, supply block Solar, denied any kind of scouting now that the Overlord is dead, and that is a 1-1-1. No third CC. There's no third CC in sight. We being hyper aggressive. This could be for a Hellbat push. This could be for just insanely fast Banshees. This could lead into BC. Do we go for the add-on swap? We should, and there it is. Add-on swap is upon us. Tech Lab on the Starboard should be for Banshee production. Reactor on the factory will be for Hellions, and we have the potential to throw down an armory as well for those Hellbats. Regardless, a very aggressive build here from Bunny. He's built up towards only a handful of Marines, and we'll see if Solar can get a read on this. Hellion dips in, third base is being taken. Remember, link speed is delayed for Solar because his gases were delayed. So later link speed, later map presence and scouting information for Solar. He's just focusing on droning and making queens. And now we have a third CC on the way. So this is not a 2-base all-in from Bunny. Already switching out of Hellions. Interesting. He made 3. He only made 3 Hellions. He's going for the add-on swap out of it. Just for, additional Raxes. Really fast Stim once again out of Bunny. Okay. So Stim is in production, soon to be another Rax. There it is, now on the way. Banshees are in production as well. Very interesting build once again here from Bunny. Again, the biggest deviation here is just the fast Banshees. Really fast Banshees out of Bunny. Very committed. First Banshee's moving out. Cloak is going to finish in 10 seconds. And we're making our way towards that natural. There is a spawn position to deal with Libs, but not so much against Banshees. Yeah, forcing the spawn to reposition. We're going to get a couple of drones. We're going to get 1, 2. 2 drones go down. Banshee does head towards the third base. Spore isn't quite done. We get another drone. Oh. We get 1 more worker as we head towards the main base, but the Spore is in position. The Banshee gets 3 drones, but stays alive. Did I speak too soon? Oh my god. Thankfully, I didn't, as we get a fourth drone here. Banshee bobbing, weaving in between the bases. Second Banshee has arrived. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to camp the area in between the bases, going straight for the Baneling Nest. And could we force a cancel? We might. We do just float away from there. Behind this, third CC is going to be taken. We're getting into the rest of our bio production, early tank production as well. This is something that Bunny avoided. He didn't make tanks last game. So harassing with Banshees, keeping Solo busy, getting into his tank production, and usually if we're building up tanks this early on, this is going to be leading towards a tank push. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 tanks from the side of Bunny, as he is going to be saturating his third. Meanwhile, Solo taking his fourth base here on the right-hand side, a very safe fourth to be taking. Safe as he does back up. Gonna be retreating from there. Meanwhile, Banshees, they do come across the fourth base. Uh-oh. They come across it, and we do have an Overseer on the way. Thankfully, it is coming out with those queens. We should keep that ace alive. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be so close, and it looks like we do not keep it. We force a cancel. Uh-oh, and here comes the army. Now, I spoke about how this should lead into a tank push. I assumed it would be with at least 2 tanks. We have 1 tank with the main army. We have the second tank just now coming out. But our goal here should be to push towards that fourth base. We already canceled it once. Now we're looking to make sure it does not get up and running. And Solo's going to have to expand elsewhere. Tank sieges. Tank does siege. We dive on top of the queens as well. Again, it's only 1 tank. Only 1, but it's still in a really good position. Yeah, shelling away at those queens. They try to collapse on this. They come in first round, and they shut down the tank. And Solar, he will hold. Baneling speed finishes up just in time. Again, this time it was a faster layer. It was delayed upgrades, so Solar could hold. With those Banelings, he could hold on. Otherwise, it would have been slow Banes. Otherwise, it would have had 1-1 instead, and it may have been a repeat of game number 1. So Solar did adjust. I should have put some emphasis on that, but Solar, he did adjust, did delay his upgrades, prioritize Baneling speed instead. And we hold. The fourth base is getting up and running. Fifth base is on the way as well. Bunny does not have as much momentum as he wanted, as he was hoping for. Ooh, does force a cancel. Does force a cancel on that hatchery. Banshee's coming in, getting some drones. Oh my god. Bunny all over this. Getting 3 worker kills here. The Banshee's still alive from the early game. But finally, it looks like they're going to be forced back, but they don't go down. They refuse. You see Bunny moving out here with the rest of his reinforcements, loading up 2 of those tanks. Looking to deny this 5th. I'm sure he would love to deny the 4th, but Solo's getting himself situated here. Queens are ready for anything to come. Meanwhile, we have Ling Bane lying in wait here at the 5th. Tanks are sieging. We're stimming in. And tank does siege. Banelings are all in. Up. Oh, no connections. Big tank shots on the Banelings. We deny the 5th once again for a second time. We clear up the creep. We force Solar back, and now we can rotate. Do we rotate or do we keep on pushing? We're pushing. Now, what's important here is if we load up, if we siege up right here at these middle patches, we can actually reach the tech. We can reach the hydrogen and the gas geysers. So Bunny can threaten that. As Solo's up against the wall, Solo did go for a very fast hydrogen, so hydras are being incorporated alongside the Ling Bane. 1-1 is now done, 2-2 on the horizon. But there's going to be a window. There's going to be a timing here where Bunny has 2-2 and Solo doesn't. Coming in on the right, threatening the 4th base, but Solo does catch him. And the army gets caught out. Widowmine gets shut down. The drop is deterred. But we can see Bunny is going for that area behind those mineral patches. He wants at least the gases. And the spore, I guess. Meanwhile, Solo taking the gold. Scan does reveal it. Ooh, Queen goes down. Queen does fall. Bunny just preparing for his eventual assault towards the gold base, taking his own behind this. Again, Bunny, he's on 4 bases. His economy is on par with that of the Zerg, which is terrifying. 4 base versus 4 base. 5th on the way for both players. Bunny is maxing out. So is Solar. Solar just now catching up with his own 2-2. Working towards his lurker den. Hive is done. Adrenal on the way. So Solar is working towards lurkers. Can he get there though? The minefield. Lings, they do flood in. Ooh, bit of friendly fire on the Marines. A lot of friendly fire actually. Yeah, rough fight there for Bunny. Widow mines are being cleaned up. At the same time, Bunny trying to force issue here at the natural. And he will get the Hydra Den. Oh, will he though? Oh, it's gonna be close. He wants it. Doesn't get it. Oh my god. It barely does live. It's on 30 HP. We collapse on the army from behind. Marines, they got shut down. And Solar will clean this up. And he barely held on to that Hydra Den as well. Cleans up the army. Bunny instantly remaxing. Those Banshees are still alive. Not for much longer, but they're still a part of the main army. Assuming that the Hydras don't deal with them. Mine shots going off. Decent connections, but not ideal. Yeah, nothing amazing there with those Widow Mines as we collapse on the Marines. Yeah, we do catch them out. Big pick off here. As once again, mine shots going off only on a handful of Lings. And Solar, he's going to try to force the issue here. He's forcing his way up the ramp. There's no tanks on the high ground. But reinforcements are too much, and Bunny will hold. But you can see him plummet in supply. Coming in with a drop, but it's not going to be enough. And again, Solar, he barely held onto his 4th earlier. Barely held onto his natural. Got his goal base up and running. Bunny, he hasn't had as much success this time. He hasn't been able to pick off as much as he did in game 1. Solar is holding, Solar is defending, and now we have the lurkers. And now suddenly the dynamic is about to shift between our players. This kind of heavy Marine Widowmine style from Bunny, it's good, but it crumbles before a good line of lurkers. Like this siege line of lurkers that's about to pop out can just put a stop to this completely. Yeah, we're gonna chase this down. The Lunkers, they have arrived. Now, to deal with lurkers, we do have Ghost Lib on the way, but we still need more time to really build it up. Speaking of, we pick up a Ghost. We got one Ghost, we yoink the Libs. Yoink at those Liberators as well. Bunny being forced back, lay siege up on the gold. The gold is exposed. We have to hold on. Snipes going off, we got one lurker. We got one lurker, we force Solar back. How many ghosts do we have? 8 ghosts and 2 libs, 1 tank. Again, the lib count is still very low. Ghost count is okay. But this is a very tense moment here for Bunny as he's just switching up his army composition. Meanwhile, Solar committing with his Lingbane. Nida Swarm is on the way. It's going to be a big moment for Solar as well. Liberators are pushing forward. As we even yoink a Ghost, let's go. Snipes going off. We do get a good amount of lurkers. Very nicely done. I think only 2 lurkers are left. Yeah, only 2 lurkers remain. At the same time, though, a big Lingbane counterattack. We blindside Bunny. We force him to turn everything back around. And it looks like we don't quite bust in. Almost did. But again, Solar, he forced the Terran to turn back around. The tank goes down as well. So really nice pickups. Up. Really nice movement out of Solar. Nida Swarm is now done. Ooh, we're gonna try to collapse on the army. You do connect with some of those Banelings, but a bit of extension from Solar. He has to back off. Look at the lurker count again. We only have 2 lurkers remaining. They're here at the goal base. We're still focusing on just Lingbane Hijack for the time being instead, with the Vipers to support. Again, now that the Ghost and Liberator count has gotten higher, suddenly lurkers aren't as effective. So instead you go back into Lingbane instead. Some decent Baneling connections, but the arc is too good. The Concave in favor of Bunny. Takes the fight, forces back Solar. Nidus Swarm does finish in the main. Both lurkers get up. Remember, it's only 2 lurkers. They're gonna get sniped. They are gonna go down. There is no escape. So an unfortunate Nidus there for Solar. Did fall on its face. Meanwhile, now we're getting back to lurkers. 8 more lurkers on the way. Now, I imagine these lurkers are purely for the Nidus Swarm. Yeah, they're all going into the Nidus. Speaking of Nidus Swarm here towards the natural, this time we're in position. We will shut it down. Every series they get into the main base, we do have the main force of Solar threatening the right-hand side. Here we do have a planetary as a part of the gold. We have additional orbitals and planetaries on the way. Fusion core in production. This will be for Liberator range. And this Nidus, oh, it might barely finish, but nothing should really come of it. It does go down. That's funny. He does push in. Does threaten the gold. Gets a couple of drones. A couple of workers will go down. Solar rotating over towards the right-hand side. Again, good control so far out of Bunny, but we're going for the planetary. And we will get it. We're out of position. Bunny, not where he needed to be. But that was wasteful with the Banelings. Oh my god, that was a brutal concave. So Solar, he killed the planetary, that's true, but he only killed 3 SCVs, and he lost a lot of Banelings. A brutal trade there in favor of Bunny, only losing 1 ghost in that. As he's going to be pushing in. Yeah, now he has momentum. We barely have any Banelings left. They're morphing in. And we might take down the gold. Nidus in the main base does complete. The lurkers, they get out. Remember, that's 8 lurkers. Well, 6 lurkers so far. Yeah, 8 lurkers. They do get into the main base. We're going for the tech. Fungal's going to be connecting. Big connection with the Fungal. Bunny going to be forced back. And can we deal with these lurkers as we take out the starport? We take out the starport, but it looks like we will force this back. We get the Nidus, we get the lurkers. But I believe, yeah, I believe advanced ballistics was denied. The fusion core was killed. With that, Liberator range is still not done. And might never be done. If Bunny doesn't realize that, again, the upgrade isn't quite there. Medvac's going to be forced back. Solar keeping the pressure up with those Nidus Worms. Now, he did lose the gold. Solar did lose the gold base. I mean, so did Bunny. They both did lose them. Solar going to be expanding towards the top left instead. Drones, no! They transfer towards the top left. Not like this, and they will all go down. 12 workers fall. Don't think that was intentional. I mean, it does free up supply. Maybe it was. As Solar is maxing out. We can see plenty of Bling Bane here. Ooh, almost taking down some of those ghosts. Almost. As Bunny's pushing on forward, he does get himself with that Nidus Swarm. He's trying to at least. There are lurkers inside. Are lurkers in that Nidus. Meanwhile, Ling run by. The planetary isn't done. Lings, they take down 7 SCVs. And we get a kill on that base. Does not lift in time. Liberation zones are thrown down, but every single lift goes down. Oh my god, the yoinks! The yoinks were insane. A lot of ghosts fall, but the counter snipes as well. Bunny forcing back the army. Oh, but that was 6 ghosts going down. Yeah, the ghosts are so exposed. More ghosts are falling. Big Fungal as well. And Solar catches up the army. He gets so many ghosts. Expensive loss there for Bunny. What was that, like 10, 15 ghosts? Yeah, 15. 15 ghosts go down. That should not have happened. Nuke is on the way, but it's not going to finish. Yeah, we clean up the last remaining ghosts here. A very wasteful fight from Bunny. And he's bleeding out everything. Again, a little bit too aggressive here. A little bit too ambitious. Bunny going to be losing his army across the map. 19 SCVs go down. GG gets called, and Solar will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I love how Solar adjusted here in game 2. As a reminder, in game 1, Solar, he went for double Evo chamber and 1-1 before his lair in game number 1, and as a result, Bunny was able to, when he pushed out, he was able to hit before Bailing's speed finished and before Bailing's were ready for Solar, and that's when Bunny killed the 4th. And it looked like the same plan was intended in game number 2. Bunny hit a very crisp timing at the 4th base, but because Solar went for a lair first into faster Bailing's speed was done in time for it. 1-1 was nowhere near being done for Solar, but he had faster Bailing's speed. He was able to defend, able to force Bunny back, and this time he held on to his 4th. His 5th was being denied over and over again, true, but the 4th was able to hold on to, and Bunny didn't get anywhere near as much damage in the mid game as he did in game 1. So Solar was able to have a much smoother, not an easy transition, but a smoother transition in towards lurkers, in towards hive tech in general, and able to be a little bit more comfortable in Alcyone. Meanwhile, Bunny had a really rough fight towards the end there. It looked like Bunny had lost, or it looked like he had run out of patience. That's what it felt like in the final moments of that game, where Bunny was like just screw it, and then he just pushed in and he just committed and lost everything. It was a brutal fight. But here we go. We're getting into game number 3, the ace match, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, being forced into an ace match into game 3. It is Bunny. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Team Vitality, forcing the ace match. It is Solar. And as we get into game number 3, a big shout out to Baby Links in the chat. Gaha, Babiga. Thank you so much for subscribing for 22 months, almost 2 years of support. I do know that it occurred earlier in game 1. Earlier in the series, so I do apologize. I was just kind of engrossed in it, but thank you so much for resubscribing. Thank you. Quack, quack. Much love. For those that are tuning in, anyone else dropping frames, I see 0 frames dropped on my side. So if anyone else is experiencing some technical issues, then let us know. But it sounds like it might just be on your end. Try refreshing the browser or making sure there's no like Steam downloads going on in the background or something crazy like that. But hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully everything is okay as we're settling into this. So far, hatch gas pool out of Solar standard opener, as opposed to the 15-15 that we saw out of Solar previously. You're getting framed for something you did not commit. Ah, I start. Fun fact: I read the comment before I read the name of who said it, and my brain was like, "Oh, this is an Einstein." Yeah. Einstein. Shaking my head. You're an animal, Pop. You're an animal. Getting framed. Smooch. Shaking my head. Yeah. Shaking my head. Third base is on the way here for Solar. So again, standard opener from our red Zerg player. Meanwhile, Bunny, once again, he skips the SCV scout. Once again, he goes Marine first, and he is looking for that Overlord, and he will come across it. Gonna attempt to hunt the Overlord down. And I believe we should make it to the pillar. Yeah, we will make it safely here to the pillar. No, we're too greedy. Solar, calm down. Is gonna get away. Second Marine does arrive, and Solar, he will keep the Overlord safe. Ooh, and sound. It might have almost been wise for Bunny to like stay back and let the Overlord keep going out a little bit further. Regardless, did get a lot of damage done, and Solar's in the dark. Solar's in the dark once again. 2 games in a row. 1-1-1. We're getting into a 1-1-1 opener. A delayed third TC. Now, if you remember, last game, this led into a really fast Banshee. And the Banshees, they put in a lot of work. They canceled the 4th, if you remember. They canceled the 4th base. So we're going for a tech lab. This most likely is going to be for an add-on swap. What I'm most curious about, as this should be Banshees, is how many Hellions. Because last game, we only made 3. We only made 3 Hellions. And then we went straight into Marine production that led into the eventual push that was supposed to kill Solar, or kill the 4th base, which barely wasn't able to do so. So I'm curious if we cut a Hellion production again. So far, we have 2 Hellions. We're going up to 4. I'm curious if we go up to 6. That's what I'm kind of keeping my eye out for, as it is going to be a Viking first. We're not going for the add-on swap. Really fast stim. If we keep making Hellions, I'm feeling an armory, but never mind. There's the add-on swap. Okay, once again, only 4 Hellions. Very light Hellion commitment here from Bunny. Going straight into stim, straight into reactor and Marines. This is similar to Game 1. Similar because Game 1 still had a 3rd CC. This is looking like a 2-base all-in. This is looking, yeah, straight. This is like a Beyond build. This is a straight-up 2-base all-in here. Yep, there we go. 2 more Rexes thrown down. 2-base all-in out of Bunny. We're going to be prioritizing, of course, +1 attack with that eBay. We do have 4 Rexes, 5 Rexes in total on 2 bases. This is going to hit like a truck, by the way. It's going to be brutal. Now, the question becomes, what is Solar going for? Do we go for a double Evo chamber? Do we go for a faster lair? What kind of opener? Where are we investing our gas early on? That's what I'm curious about. There it is. It's going to be a lair first. Okay, so it's a safe opener out of Solar. With this lair first, this is going to be leading into a faster bailing nest, into faster bailing speed. Very safe way to play. So far, I'm liking what we're seeing here from Solar. This is the same build he went for in Game 2. Not what he went for in Game 1, which is the game he lost. So safe play to roll. There's that bailing nest we spoke about. Again, bailing speed going to be on the horizon. Viking hunting down overlords. We get 1. Ooh, but only 1. Clutch transfuse keeps the other overlord alive. Does keep it alive here. As we do see that Viking just trying to hunt down additional overlords. Trying to find any other value. Tank is on the way. And we're soon going to be pushing out. Now, basically, the way this works is that these 2 medevacs and the move out should be lined up with +1. +1 should finish by the time the army is like halfway across the map. So, a very crisp timing here. How much do we have to work with? We have 2 tanks, soon to be 3 tanks. 3 tanks, 24 Marines. We're making 7 Marines at a time. This is insane. Stim is done, of course. Combat Shield's finishing up as well in time for the attack. And the all-in is upon us. Now, Solar, he droned up to 3 bases. Very safe drone count. 63 workers is where we are stopping. We do have bailing speed on the way. It's not going to be done in time, though. Upgrades as well. Solar, he needs to amass his army. He needs to make sure he does not drone. He's ready for this. Solar has 9 queens. Viking does fall. And thankfully, because of the creep spread, it's going to take a while for the army to really push in. So we're buying time. 5 bailings are in production. Again, we have to buy time for bailing speed. We're getting ready for first round. Yeah, queens are holding the line. And we come in for this round. We come in from behind. The tanks are going to fall. We collapse on top of the tanks. Bailings, they do connect with some of the army. That brings a stim on forward, but 10 more seconds. And in 10 more seconds, Solar, he should be okay. He should clean this up. The army is overstimmed. Another tank has arrived. We're still all in. Bailing speed is done. Up. And can we connect? We cannot. But we take down the tank. The tank falls. The queens are still barely alive. And Bunny is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. We have held. The initial engagement, the initial surround was insane from Solar. Cleans up the tanks. And Bunny, he's in trouble. Bunny's in a lot of trouble right now. Like, he's still rallying across the map. We're making Liberators behind this as well. The all-in continues, and unfortunately for Bunny, Solar isn't droning. He isn't droning up his 4th base. He's still making Morling Bane. Solar, he's set up for another surround here, set up to collapse on the army from behind. From both ends. And here Solar comes. Tank is going to get surrounded. Good target firing here on the Bailings. Really good movement with the Marines. You can see that Solar cannot engage over creep with the Marines, but he can kill the tanks. He can at least kill the tanks. As Bunny does have a supply lead, he rocks up with a 2nd tank. Or with another tank. And can he still pull this off? It's going to be close. A couple workers are transferring over. Ooh, the Baileys, they connect. They connect here with the Marines. It looks like we caught some reinforcements. Yeah, Solar catching a couple of Marines. Once again, coming in from behind. Bunny knows that this time we do have a couple of Liberators. We do have a couple of Libs. We just have that one tank. Solo with the surround from both ends. Once again, the Bailings, they will connect this time. And yeah, Bunny just doesn't have enough. The one base all-in had potential, but again, Solo played very safe. He went for a very safe build, very safe opener. Solo was not cutting corners, even though he didn't scout what was going on. Solo, he was just, again, preparing for the worst anyway. And the worst came. Bunny still keeping the pressure up though. Still has potential. Gets a Bailings. Do we have any Bailings left? 26. Okay, we do. Just have 26 Bailings. Once again, another good engage here from Solar. From multiple angles. Collapses on the tanks. Shuts them down. Despite the splits, there's just too much Link Bane. We overwhelmed the Terran. We're down to 1 Marine. GG gets called, and Solar will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Solar as he does fight back. He bounces back. He takes the series in the end. Again, game 1, Solar played standard, is what I will say. If you remember, he played standard. He went for faster upgrades against a 3-base opener. But Bunny's aggression pulled him apart. And Bunny looked so impressive in game 1. Game 1 was terrifying. So afterwards, in game 2 and game 3, we saw very safe openers out of Solar instead. We saw him just respecting Bunny a lot more and a lot more aware of Bunny's aggressive potential. And with that, we saw Solar just having a much more secure mid-game. And that all came to fruition here in game 3 in the ace match. With Bunny's all in against a safe opener from Solar. GG, Solar does take it. Bunny is eliminated from the qualifier, but he will have a second chance in a couple of days. There is a second Open Qualifier, second and final Open Qualifier for the Korean region in 2 days. In 2 days, so Bunny can compete in that. Until then, though, he's going to have to rest, he's going to have to recuperate, and we will follow Solar into his next series.